Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Flesh Eater Courts in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, focusing on building a force around the questing Courtiers battle formation. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so to start with for our force, we have the Scourge of Gyran variant of the Abhorrent Ghoul King War Scroll. Now this model has 5 health and a 5+ save, pretty standard for Flesh Eater Courts. It's also got a 6-up ward, like all things death. It's got 5 attacks from its Bloodstained Talons and Fangs that hit and wound on 3s with Rend 1 damage 2, but also has the anti-hero +1 Rend rule as well for Rend 2 when it goes into enemy heroes. The King's Court passive ability means you add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons used by other non-monster Flesh Eater Courts heroes while they're hollow within 12 inches of this unit, and in addition you can add 1 to the attacks of this unit for each of those heroes as well, hollow within 12 inches to a maximum of +3 attacks, taking to 8 attacks in total if you do get the full benefit. Long Live the King as well means if this unit will be destroyed before removing it from play, you get to give a friendly, non-unique Flesh Eater Courts units wholly within 12 inches of this unit the Enraged keyword until the start of your next turn, and melee weapons used by Enraged units have crit auto wound and score critical hits on a 5+, so people get pretty mad when you take down their king. Next is another hero, the Royal Decapitator. 5 health, 5+ save, 6-up ward, all standard there, and its Headsman's Axe has 3 attacks, 4s and 3s, but Rend 2 and a nice damage 3, so if the thing can get all its attacks through, it can be pretty nasty. The Executioner's Entourage means you pick a friendly service unit that's not used to fight after its model's attacked, and they can fight immediately after it. And the Elf with their head rule can be used at the end of any turn. We pick an enemy infantry hero that has any damage points allocated to it by the attacks from this model, roll a dice, and on 5+, they're just instantly destroyed. Next is the Varghulf Courtier. This is sort of a pseudo-monster model. It's got 8 health, a 5+ save, and it does have the hero and infantry keywords, though it sort of hits a bit more closely to a monster. It's got 7 attacks with its immense claws, 4s and 3s, Rend 1 damage 2 with anti-infantry +1 Rend, and another attack from its dagger like Fangs as well that's damage 3. Bounding Strides means it can pass over terrain as if it could fly, so it ignores all vertical movement when moving, just can't land on any impassable or unstable terrain. And the Victory Feast of special rules means if it slays any models in a turn, it just simply heals D6 wounds, and it can immediately retreat and not suffer any mortal damage for having retreated. Pretty cool way to keep this model always in the fight and always an option for you to do counter charges with as well. Next, we go over to our monster heroes, and we have the Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist. Now, while this particular model won't be affected by the Ghoul King at the start, this does bring us a nice heavy-hitting piece. 16 health, a 12-inch flying move, so like the Varghulf, it ignores all vertical terrain. It has a short-range shooting attack, and that's D6 damage with 1 shot, though it is a 4 to hit, but 2 to wound. And then you've got a bunch of good damage attacks in combat, though a lot of them hitting on 4s because it is a monster. When it has 10 or more damage points, it does lose some of its attacks thanks to the battle damage special rule. But the Gaping Maw means each time an attack is made with the Terrorgeist Fang Maw, it scores a critical hit. It just inflicts 6 mortal damage instead. Ferocious Hunger is a once per turn army ability that can be used during any combat phase, and it's a rampage specific to this particular model. Roll a dice on a 3+ if there's an enemy hero in combat with you, and attacks made with this unit's Terrorgeist Fang Maw that target that score critical hits on a modified 5+, so it's a good way to sort of maybe target some enemy heroes and pick them off. On top of that as well, this model is a wizard as well, so it can cast some spells and get your manifestations out there as well. And so lastly for this force, we're going to have the Crypt Guard. Crypt Guard are going to be a really useful unit because first of all, they are going to provide us with some bodies on the table, but the Royal Bodyguard ability does mean that they protect any Flesh Eater Courts heroes nearby them. If a friendly Flesh Eater Courts hero is within combat range, both this unit and that particular infantry hero will have a ward of 5+. Now, Armory of Madness as well means if they get any hits and damage through with one of their fire abilities on an enemy, that enemy unit can't use any commands until the start of your next turn. And so our questing Courtiers battle formation today gives us the Blessing of the Chalice passive ability, where friendly Flesh and Quartz heroes simply get Ward 5+ if they've destroyed a unit in the battle. It's pretty cool. It means, you know, our foot heroes with all the buffs we can get around that Abhorrent Ghoul King can work, but also the Terrorghast can probably pretty easily get a 5+ ward. Our first regiment sees the Scourge of Gyran Abhorrent Ghoul King as our general get the heroic trait Savage Beyond Reason, and then for units we have the Crypt Guard and the Varghulf Courtier. Our second regiment has the Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorghast with a monstrous trait Savage Abomination. This is one of the many different monster traits we got from the Scourge of Gyran. We also have the artifact of power, the Heart of the Gargant as well for some extra damage once per game. Unit wise we then have a Royal Decapitator and a unit of Crypt Guard in here as well. Meanwhile, for our third regiment is just another Royal Decapitator all by their lonesome. We hope this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar content.